everyone, welcome back to Studioloo. It is Tuesday 10 today. So Tuesday 10, for those of you who are new here, I basically pull 10 pieces of stuff, general stuff that I keep hoarding in this basket at the back of my desk. It could be book pages, magazine pages, in this case a jelly print that I made, just random paper that I have, digitals I've printed and not used or used part of. Anyhow, we have to keep on making until we use all 10 things to make finished ephemera. So that is the objective today. What I have today, this is a piece of old music book paper that I've jelly printed on, and I quite like this particular jelly print. I'm excited to use this. I have 2 pages, I think from the same book, that is a garden book. This one has this really lovely picture, and then this is like a fall tree. And then I have leftovers from a Release the Craftin' digital kit that I used part of, but not all of. I have this piece of paper, which is either a flyleaf page from a book or a piece of scrapbook paper. I don't know. This is from a book, has this beautiful fox and this passenger pigeon, as well as this bighorn sheep. This is the first page of the Anne of Green Gables journal. This is a card with some lovely like glittery embossing of just this goose, and it was sent to my son, so I just want to tear the back off of it. I think I'm just going to use the front. And then I have this little bag that's like a little like, yeah, I think it's got probably some copied old like ads and stuff on it. This is another book page. It has this on this side and that on that side. So yeah, that is what we are doing today. So I'm going to start, I think, with these pages here. So right now I am working on a pink autumnal journal, and I was thinking as I looked at these after I grabbed all of this out of my stash, this is pink and that is autumnal. So could we do something fun with this? I think so. So the plan for me, I think, is to make some kind of like an envelope or a pockety type thing with this page. So if I fold it in half, you know, I could use a template to cut an envelope, but I could also just very easily like do something like this that I might want to put behind it, like this fabric. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I will like that actually. Okay, so I need to cut a piece of fabric that is as large as this piece. Okay. And this is just a vintage baby jacket that I've been repurposing because it was no longer in the shape to be worn by a child. It was my daughter's. I basically bought a lot of vintage baby clothes when my kids were little because I really love vintage baby clothes. And lots of them I've passed on again or what have you, but some of them I've chosen to just repurpose because they're special and lovely, and it's nice to repurpose things. Let's just check our size here. That's good. I'm going to cut this thick edge off. Yes, I'm having a bit of a relaxing morning. I don't know what I'm going to do later today. We have the Thanksgiving long weekend here in Canada. And I spent yesterday, I went actually to a lovely little town called Orono because there's a park there that I really love. My kids and I went there with my husband, my family, and we met up with my parents, and we just had a really nice day. We had a picnic, made sandwiches and all sorts, and hung out with my folks, and just had a nice day of like playing at a playground for many hours. So I had some sleepy kids on the way home. I did a little bit of thrifting, which you will see in my thrift haul video this week. What else? Oh, and I got to go somewhere special, but I'll tell you about that in just a moment. I'm going to go stitch this. Okay, so the special place that I got to go yesterday was a place that I have seen a few times as I've been driving along the highway, and one that I have heard another lovely Canadian favorite journal maker of mine, Catherine Brown, artist at Sunnyside Studios. It's in her neck of the woods, and it is the loveliest little place to get books. It's called the Kirby Church Bookstore. So I got to go there finally. I've wanted to go for so long, for many years actually. I've seen this church and known that it was a bookstore, but never got to go. So I finally got to go yesterday, and it was lovely. It was really a very cute store, lots and lots and lots of books. I got a few things. You'll see them in my Thursday book haul, my Thrifty Thursday haul. So, you know what's really funny though? I had this whole experience where when I was wandering around in there, because I've heard Catherine talk about it so often, I was like, oh, you know, I think Catherine would like this probably, so I'm not going to bother taking it, right? 'Cause I'm just like this. Like, I think about like leaving treasures behind for others, and I was like, I can't take this. She might really like this, right? So that was totally how I was shopping. It was super funny, and I hope she finds these little treasures that I imagined in my mind she would like. So yeah. Okay, so we have glued this down now that I've stitched around it. Okay, and then I'm thinking about, I want to fold maybe this bit down in kind of a weird, awkward kind of way a couple of times, like this, a little crinkly and creasy. Okay, then can we close it again, and then just grab my bone folder. But yeah, I got some nice garden books, and I got a few like reading books and some such lovely things. People were very nice, and that was nice. Okay, so actually the back I want to be higher than the front, so maybe let's bring this down a little. Okay, now, so I'm going to glue. I need to refill my art glitter glue. I meant to do that before I started filming, but here we are. Yeah, so it was nice to go there. I was like, my husband and the kids just waited in the car, because usually like my daughter will at least come in shopping with me, and my husband will stay with my son. Although my son, now that he's wearing a mask, he has started to come in places with me randomly when I'm shopping, because you know, he for the longest time was too young to wear a mask, but he's got it now. So, but it ended up, he was kind of sleepy, and my daughter said she actually just didn't want to come in. She wanted to just wait in the car, because she knew we were going to the park and we would be seeing my parents, and so she, I think, felt like if I don't go in, this will all be faster and we'll get out of here and go to the park. So I just went in. As it turns out, I spent an hour in there. Oh my gosh. But it's fine. Everybody was fine. My husband would have texted me if like things were getting out of hand with the kids, but they weren't. The kids actually got out of the car and they were playing in the parking lot there, where it's a little bit woodsy, and there are just nice people outside, and so my kids were just having fun, and I was too. So it was a nice mix of activities. So now I feel like I just want to embellish something like right here that's also going to match this kind of pink, this pink theme. I need to cut this little bunny out of this jacket here. I feel like I have to save that little embroidery because it's so cute. Okay, so what I want to do is grab a circle, I think, off of this jacket. We'll just kind of cut a bit of a free-form circular shape. It doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. This, and I think I want to like affix it on here with a bit of, put that back, a bit of thread. And I've got this needle I've threaded because I just want to stitch it on rather than glue it on for a little something different. And maybe what we'll do is we'll do some like French knots that are a little bigger, like bullions maybe. So you just wrap your thread around several times and then kind of bring it a little tight, not too tight, but close to your fabric. Come on through. We'll just do kind of messy, not messy, but a little messy bullions. We'll see if I can get them to go messy. They only go messy when I don't want them to, right? But now that I've like asked them to be messy, they're going to be nice and neat and give me an easy time. Yeah, the park was nice and we got to play with some other nice kiddos and met some nice families and had a nice lunch. My parents had fun and it was a nice way to kind of spend one day of the long weekend. I'm thinking today I want to get out again because I love fall and late summer, like in fall so much. I don't care about the weather. I just want to be outside in that fresh air before the snow comes because I'm not ready. I am not a big winter fan. I'm really not. And it's taken me years to kind of admit that because I'm really the kind of person who believes like we have to embrace all seasons. I mean, I live in Ontario, Canada, so I don't get to choose to have the weather that I would love all the time. So like I need to just embrace all seasons and I need to pass it on to my kids. And I think I've done that, but privately I do complain a little bit because winter, as pretty as it is, it's very cold and snowy and yucky and wet and all those things, right? And while I do have several days that I go out and do the fun things like tobogganing and snow angels and all that fun stuff with the kids, I mostly just want to hermit, which isn't good for me, and and I can't do it, and I want to, but yeah, that's another problem for another day. Okay, so I think I'm happy with this is like a little tuck envelope. So, you know, we'll stick a piece of ephemera. I just want to allow this to dry though, because I keep pulling on it while it's drying. So let's set that aside and call that done for now. I may stitch. I probably will stitch around it just because I'm a big fan of stitching. So, okay, let's move on. So I've got this beauty. So I feel like I can make 2 pieces with it because of the size of it. So at least 2 pieces. I don't want to make all gigantic ephemera because sometimes I tend to do that. So I think I'm going to make this and this tags or journal cards. Then we have this little bit here, which I might use in something else or I might not. We'll see. So let's set this aside here. Now, when I was looking at this, immediately I was thinking about it for my pink autumnal journal, because I do need to make some more ephemera for it. I worked on it a bit, but it does need more work. So I need to move some stuff to just grab something here off the back of my desk. So pardon my reach. And you'll see one of my secrets here. Caribou gummy bears that hang out in my temples, people. You gotta keep them fed or they get grouchy, right? Speaking of grouchy, whew, what's happened to her? Okay, so what I'm thinking is I want to use some Tim Holtz people on here that like I think will go along with my sort of fall vibe. So I want these people to be kind of dressed a little bit for fall. So I think they are. That's a lot. These are like the groups of people. Let's see. Cute little kids. They're dressed nice and warm, but I don't know. It might be winter. That looks a little too winter as well. We want people who are like maybe wearing like sweaters or something. They look like they're out on a fall day. These folks look like they could be on a fall day. But they might be a little big. I don't know. No. Maybe I just want something a little different. I've already got one with 2 people. Let's see. Oh, there's a dog. I don't know. He doesn't go with my journal theme that I'm kind of working on. I don't usually work on a theme when I'm making... Oh, they're so cute. Why am I such a sucker for little kids? I just love kids. Okay, yeah, let's go with these guys because they got sweaters on and they're good to go. All right. Put this back here. Now, I feel like I want to do something interesting with some pink. So, I have this idea for this that may or may not work. We're going to see here. This piece might be a little too thin. What if we do that and then come down, pull that away. Okay. Like a tree, maybe. That could work. That could work. All right. Now on this one, I've got some of this silk here. Or it's not silk, it's viscose. And what I was thinking with it is like I want to make like some kind of a scrunched up, like maybe it will take gluing it on to make like a scrunched up bit of silk. So, or it's not silk, it's viscose, but regardless, it feels like silk. So let's cover this with some glue. I'm going to use 3-in-1, which is currently clogged up for no apparent reason. Let's just unclog it here. There we go. And I probably should try to harvest the rest of the remaining herbs in the garden because we are getting frost warnings now. So that means we gotta wrap up the garden. We've got the pool all sorted out. That's all done, but it's just the garden now that really needs some love and attention. Okay, so let go of me. I want to like make this quite scrunchy, and I might have to do a little fast flow stitching on it to accomplish that. So let's just let this dry a little bit, then I'm probably going to stitch a bit on it. So this goes here with these boys. Now what else do we want to do with this? We need more than just what I've done. I wonder if I should add like a little of this as well to just, could that be, what if we cut that into a more round shape, or like a freeform kind of shape, not so square. Right, like that. Put it here, add that here. Would that look a little more tree-like if I had this there? Then we'll grab another small piece of this viscose. We'll cut it out into like the top of a tree shape. Would it go on top or underneath? Maybe underneath. Yeah, and then we'll put our girls on here. Okay, that's quite cute. And then I think I'm just gonna stitch the tree on along with this. And I don't even think I'm gonna glue it. I'm just gonna stitch it maybe. We'll see. Like maybe what I'll do is I'll add a dab of glue in the middle. Why are my glue bottles being so tricky today? There we go. I said behind. Just to hold them in place, but not to like overwhelm everything with glue. The other one I wanted to because I wanted it to be crinkly, but I don't need this one to be crinkly. I just want it to be a tree. And then we'll just do maybe a line on this one. Just a little line. Okay. Right there. Go. And then I'll put the girls on after I stitch it. So I'll do a little stitching now. I know I normally don't stitch until the end of the video, but I feel like these pieces, because we're creating layers, I do need to do the stitching to kind of create the layering before I add the rest of what's happening on here. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've stitched these on. Now the way that I stitched this one, I kind of just did lines coming up from the bottom to the top to keep the crumpliness of this and make it look a little like maybe a tree. So I'm still, you know, going with that kind of autumnal idea. And this one I did lots of fast flow stitching in circles and up and down the trunk. I have a few strands, but I don't want them to be too long and overwhelming. Clip them off there. Okay. Okay. Then, all right, let's see here what else we want to do with this. These guys here or here. Here. Now I need some kind of scrap. That's kind of cool. This is like a piece of ledger paper that I cut out. So I think I'm going to take this text here. It's a little bit of fun old text there, and I want to add that back here as a bit of a tree trunk. And I'll tear that. So it's like that. Really need to fill this bottle of glue. Oh my goodness, I might pause and do that, but we'll see. We're still okay. Put that here as the tree trunk. And don't worry if it looks a little abstract. We're going to be putting a lot of stuff on here. You're not really going to notice. I'm also looking at these fun like 1928 kind of characters and wondering as I look at them if they wouldn't make like just a fun border in the background like this. Even though this isn't really relating to 1928 in any way. You know, I look at making ephemera. This is the kind of stuff that actually makes it really unique. Like, you know, if you think about like the giants in our industry, right? The people like Tim Holtz and stuff, a lot of what they do is very random, right? Like, you know, you're using things like random numbers and letters and images and such to build like an eclectic feel. And that's something that I kind of also naturally feel when I'm making things. I think you can build on themes in a couple of, well, in many ways, but a couple ways that come to me are like with, you know, randomness, and also like with expanding on the theme in like a storytelling type way. And I think this kind of does the randomness. Okay, and then we'll put this one on this corner. And I'm seeing glue on my table here. Bad. Use a glue book. Bad. Alright, so let's do that. Now let's, is there anything else I want to layer under these boys? Maybe, hold on. Let's see. Not more of that. What about this little scrap here that I just cut off? I just feel like it would be good to ground them a little on something like this. And what's this? This is more of that same scrap. So, you know, as you see, you can use everything and make something fun. I'm using the wrong glue. I actually probably only need glue stick for this. So let's grab this Oogie glue stick that I'm still using. I have, I think, 2 more of these left. Then I will be free from using them. But you never waste good glue. Come on. Okay. That goes there. Smush it all down here. And now we'll put the boys on. And I feel if I use this piece in the pink autumnal journal, which I may, the fact that there are those hearts there, they will bring like a bit of a pink feel on their own, like, because I think we, you know, associate love and love hearts with pink. But what I'm going to do also, I think, is grab my ink, which I think I have hanging around here somewhere. Yeah, there it is, the Kit Flamingo ink. And just daub a little on here, maybe. And this is oxide, so we can play with it just a little. Sorry, I have to reach for this water here. I might add a little more. And then we'll just let that kind of hang out and do its thing. Then I'm going to come in with a little more glue stick right on this edge. Got a couple little edges of this old paper where it was stuck down to the ledger from the old scrapbook that it came out of that could use a little new modern glue. So there we go. Then what I'm going to do with this little scrap, just because I just saw it sitting here and I like how that looks, I'm going to make a tab with it. But let's move this fabric out of the way for a minute and get my glue book. There we go. So kind of like this. Then do we want it on the top, on the side maybe? Right on the side here. Okay. And I'm just going to set this down on this page because we have a lot of glue, water, oxide, all sorts happening. And what I want to do is I want to fold this over so it just gets on the paper like that. But I want to still see at the front some of the writing, the text there. Okay. So this is all glued down, right? Good. Then I'm going to get something to back it with. And I know I normally do all my backing like at the end of the video when I'm off camera, but I just want to show you how I will back this. I'm going to stitch around it, but I just wanted to show you this because like you see the tab is trapped in there. And also, you know, we didn't back it before we did the stitching because we want to hide all the stitches behind our backing. So I'm going to use packaging paper just to back this whole thing. And you know, you can decide with the tab, which I'm going to do. I'm just going to like fold this right here so that the tab doesn't get backed. It doesn't need to be. We'll just give it all a good press down so that the glue adheres. Then come back in and trim all this off. And we'll come back here and we'll just we'll cut right down this line here and get rid of that as well. Okay. All right, so there's one. Now, it looks like because where the boys' heads are coming onto this fabric, I need to glue it with some Fabri-Tac, not just with art glitter glue, because art glitter glue, it doesn't really fully adhere fabric as well. It sort of does, but you might get a bit of popping up, which I don't want. So I'm just going to give this a quick press while I think about what else I want to do with these girls and this tree, if it needs something else. I'm thinking about like a word snippet. That would be really cute. There we go. All right, so that's fun, and that will get stitched. So we'll set that aside with this piece. Okay, so we have two pieces up there now. All right, we have work to do. I am still I'm just kind of moving at a bit of a snail's pace here, I think. That's okay. Now, just add some glue here. I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac for this one just because half of it is on the fabric and there's no sense going like half one glue, half another. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Just pat them down for a second, and now I think we will delve into word snippets. This is the hard part, like when I'm like filming, is do I just look while I'm here with you, or should I like get it ready, and then you know, come back to you so I'm not wasting time. It's a nice little label too, maybe, depending on what we find. What's this say? Twilight Dreams. Nope. Northern Lights Set the Skies Aglow. No. Oops. Come here. We need something, maybe autumnal. Let's see. Dancing away to the music. What was written had no meaning. Whoops. I dropped that one before I could read it. Far in the deep woods doth dwell. Maybe, maybe. Poems are like fireworks. I like that. I feel like, even though it doesn't say anything autumnal, it's beautiful. So let's glue Poems Are Like Fireworks onto the label with this almost empty bottle of sad glue. Okay, there we go. Sad glue. Okay, then we need a little bit of ink. Gotta get an ink dauber for pink. Oops. There we go. We'll use this one. This one is hanging around. This is a weird one that I got from something. I don't know. Michael's or something. We'll do that. Then we will stick this on here. Yes, I like that. Oh, come, come, come. Just do the one side with that glue and the rest just with glue stick. That's good. Because this is thinner coffee dyed paper and I don't like to overwhelm it with too much glue. Alright, I'm happy with that. Do we want to cut this one into a tag shape? Actually, you know, for the project I want to use this for, I've already created quite a few tags. Let's leave this a journal card. So I will back it and stitch it after this. I won't worry about backing it right now because there's nothing sort of to be learned from doing that kind of a backing. So let's just tidy up just a moment here. We'll just tidy a little bit so that everything's not all over the place. Okay. All right, now we need to move on. We've got glue on the back of this for some reason. And we'll get rid of both sides of the glue book. Okay, so this one, this is the Anne of Green Gables journal. Now, what I want to do with this, first of all, I just want to cut it out around these like fun branches. Let's just kind of fussy cut this really quick here. Okay, then I need some paper. I want to cover the majority of this except for that flower. Here we are. So I think what we'll do is we'll make this kind of fun and we'll just like collage it where we tear all the edges so there's no hard paper edge, and then we'll just put this down on there. Oops. This is a page about Virginia creeper. My daughter has gotten into the habit of collecting leaves and then getting me to identify them. So yesterday's challenge was Virginia creeper. She found some in the woods when she was taking a little nature wander with her grandpa. So she came back to me and she said, "Mom, what is this?" And so I had to figure it out. And then she tends to collect nature-y things like when she's out wandering. And she always tells me, "Here, you can use this in your journal." So she is definitely like appreciative of the stuff that I do and the stuff that I teach her, and that's nice. It's kind of amazing when you see how much your children kind of resemble you when you were a kid. It's like a little bit freaky to me. My kids are both like mini-me's. They look like me. They especially just look like me. It's really wild. I said to my mom, like, I'm an only child, so I said to my mom yesterday about my son, I said, like, you must look at him and feel like now you know what it would be like had you had a son. And she said, "You know, it's funny you should say that because I think it all the time because he looks so much like you." And so does my daughter. My husband and I always joke about that because I thought, like, my husband is Filipino and I thought that his genes would override mine. Like, I thought surely they would get some of his lovely skin tone. Nope, they've got my sad, bland, my sad, far too white skin that like burns in 2 seconds. Unfortunately, I'm like, no, I wanted them to get your melanin. No. And they've got my blonde hair, not his dark chestnut hair. But you know, you can never tell what will come out of kids. But my husband got quite a workout yesterday, as always. He is like a super patient dad. And they were like, so the playground has a lot of mulch right around the play area because typically a lot of playgrounds these days, they don't have like concrete, thankfully, for kids to fall onto. They have either mulch or like that bouncy material made from old tires to just be safe if a child should fall down. So this one had mulch, and my son is really into like mulch. Like, he loves picking it up and giving a handful of it to strangers, or like as like a treasure, or like throwing it in the water, or just playing with it, throwing it around. I don't know, he really loves mulch. We always joke about him being the king of the mulch. So yeah, my husband definitely got his workout yesterday and was like tackling them on the ground, getting tackled on the ground by the mulch kids. So yeah, he's like getting all this mulch out of his hair. The kids were loving it. They're having so much fun, laughing their heads off at their dad. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'm not going to wreck that. Set that aside. Oh, yeah. I just definitely dipped my hand in the glue, but that's okay. So this piece of paper I have left over, this coffee dyed paper, I'm going to put it on the back of this, even though I know it's not going to completely cover it. That's okay. I have a plan in mind here. So we'll mostly cover it, right? That's okay. It's just going to be like a little corner here that's not covered. And you know, I was thinking of spraying it with coffee, but actually I can just take another little piece and just mush it on there. Maybe. I'm so gluey. Gluey. Let's get this and glue the whole surface of it. And then just put it on there. Then we'll come back to the front, and somewhere I have scissors right here, I guess. And we're just going to cut like around and leave a little border of the coffee dyed paper because it's pretty. Just want to get any kind of harder edges off. So now we have this fun, just kind of coffee dyed letter paper, you know, and it's got coffee dyed paper on both sides and that fun flower. And I may do like a stitch just around this border and go from there. Okay, we'll set that aside. And these new scraps that I just created, I'll set them aside too. And then we'll move on. Okay, so now we have this little bag. Now, can I make this little bag a little more interesting or fun? Not with that. We do have these. What's this? That might be fun on that little bag. Because I'm not really into some of the themes here, like this kind of, I want to do something interesting with this. So, that being said, where did I put those scraps? Right here that I just pulled up. Let's tear, because this is really nice old paper, and this is like a garden book. I'm going to do a little bit of like collaging here to kind of get rid of the stuff that doesn't interest me, like that. This on here. Oh, that's a nice image. I'll use that one. Then this, what I think I want to do with it is tear around the edge. I really want to make a really beautiful winter journal with this kit from Release the Craft, and I've had this kit for a while and I've really wanted to use it, but I just haven't had a minute to do so. But I'm going to at some point. Okay, so let's just cut out, not with those scissors, these scissors. A piece of this, viscose. And then what I want to do with this is just stitch it on there, so I will do that really quick. Okay, so I have thankfully washed my hands and stitched all around this. So now what we'll do is we will glue it on there. And I don't think I will do much with the back of this envelope because I see myself probably either gluing it down completely or using it as a tuck, like a double pocket where I would glue it down on two sides so the back will not be visible. Okay. There we go. So that can be stuck down there. And where did I put my pin? Right there. Okay. So we'll just put the pin back in the glue here for a minute. And I want to save this little label that says perennial border. I love that text. Okay. This goes aside with our other stuff. I think I still have quite a bit to go. This is getting a little out of hand here. Okay, let's think. What do we want to do next? I have this envelope here. It's a large envelope, and I think I just want to make something with it. And I'm thinking about making like a double kind of pocket like this, where the flap would be tuck spots. So yeah, and then I guess, you know, it could open, but maybe we would do it this way though. And then the tuck spots could be inside because they're blank paper, and we'll decorate the outside. So what do I have that I could do that with? This. Okay. I like that as a background. So let's cover the front of this envelope in glue. glue this all down here. Okay. Then stick this on. Okay. Then we'll cut around the envelope. Just be careful not... Actually, you know what? Maybe we want to cut the bottom of the envelope off, because that will open it up as tuck spots too. So then we'll have even more pockets. I guess the one we don't want to do that to is the bottom flap. Okay. And obviously the side flaps. I mean, you could use the side flaps as pockets if you wanted instead of the top, but I'll go with the top. Okay, so we've covered this. Then it will fold in half. Okay. And we'll open it back up here. Then what I'm going to do is on this folded spot here, I'm just going to cut like a V. Because then we'll have like less bunching. And then over here, just to match up, I could choose to round those edges, but I think I'll just match them up with the V that I cut there so that they're straight. Okay, so bring this up a little more. So it has like a little bit of that trim at the bottom. Then what I will do is use art glitter glue and just glue the V and the across that little extra spot that I've added here at the top of the envelope. We'll go right across that and then put glue on the inner V. Bring those up and just pop that down and that down. So then we have like two internal tuck spots that are kind of a little, you know, cute, simple. And then the outside. And what I'll do with that is I will embellish it a little bit with this on the front. And I've got like my fussy cuts I don't need. I'm going to use another one of the Tuesday 10 bits here. And yeah, because that will actually go really nicely together. Let's glue this down. And then do I have any? Yes, I do. Raggedy book spine. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Gluing everything to my fingers. Right. Let me go. Glue. So let's glue this down. Come on. You only have one more video to go and then I will fill you, I promise. Right like that. Then okay. Put that here. Now I need my ink. And I want to use Vintage Photo. My desk is a calamity if you're wondering. I fully agree if you're noticing that my desk's a calamity. It really is. This is what happens during Tuesday 10. Sometimes everything is everywhere and it's wild. So now we're going to do some nice inking around this edge. little over this as well. And on back, because this might be like a floating kind of card that we put stuff in and load it up, because see, remember, I think the top, yes, the top is open on these, so that's kind of fun. And then we'll ink the inside. We'll age this a little bit. Then I think what I'd like to do with it as well is corner punch this top corner here. Wrong side with the 1/2 inch. Yes, that's a little nicer. Okay, so then this will open as a pocket, so will this. And maybe what we'll do to make that more apparent is to grab my circle punch here. There. And maybe on the inside of this one. Because if we do it that way, we can decide to like actually glue the back down if I want to, depending on, you know, the kind of piece this ends up going into. And then yeah, we have this here and that there, and what we could do is grab like a little piece of this and just embellish it a little more. This video may be really long, but that's okay, because this is the one video per week where I don't concern myself with how long it takes, because I think for those of you who follow Tuesday 10, you kind of get it and you craft along with me, and we just go into the wild abandon. Okay, there. Then, where did I put that perennial border label? I think I want to use that again, like as just, you know, random and fun things that we can use. That there. What do we have here? Nothing interesting, but maybe this. Yeah. Just grab a little bit of this vintage ledger bit, and it can go on this side. Just adds like a little, you know, detail of fun collage, right? We add more interest this way. Okay, and then obviously, you know, you can decorate to your heart's content in here, but I'm going to leave this as writing space. This is a pocket, that is a pocket, and I'm probably going to, at the end here, just stitch around like this border maybe. Maybe not. I'll find out if I want to do that. Okay, let's set that aside now. Okay, we have this pocket. Let's make this into a pocket. I'm going to just be simple with it, and I'm going to use a book page to just thicken it up. So I'll add a little glue to this book page, and then we'll fold it in half, and we'll give this a rough cut here, and we will glue this down. So one exciting thing that happened Tuesday 10 related today is, so the basket that I use for my Tuesday 10 papers, I cleared out one of the slots. It's like a 3-slot basket. One slot is now empty. So, I mean, it's awesome because I can fit, there's a journal that I work in frequently that I wanted to have a place for, and it was on the same shelf, but it was crowding things up. So now it sits in there perfectly in that empty slot. Now, I shouldn't over celebrate because I do have a whole basket of things that once I use up what's, you know, in Tuesday 10's bin, I've got more to put in it to fill it up completely, because I had all this stuff like that I had set aside a while back to, like, you know, use up, and it was sitting in one of my baskets that's in my bins, and like, yeah, so I shouldn't over celebrate, but that's okay. All right, let's just leave that alone as is. I like it just as a pocket. Okay. So now what do we have left? We've got this, and this. So what I think might be cute is we're going to fold this and make it into like a card. And I love this goose, but I'm not really big on it being so Christmassy, I think. So, I don't know. I'm going to try just cutting it out of the card. Just the goose. Because she's so cute. I do like the sparkliness in her feathers. And then just simply like gluing her on to a different background like that. I think we'll make a really cute little card. We're definitely going to use art glitter glue for this because this is a thick piece of card. I know you want to be empty, but you're not. Keep going. We can do this. We're almost done Tuesday 10. It's that part of the video where I've completely lost my mind. I'm talking to my glue bottle. All right, so let's get this all down, down. Oh, too much glue, too much glue. That's a little scrap of a picture of a wax seal. And that's cute. You want to do any kind of a tab situation or any kind of a collage with this at all, this color? No, it's okay. I think it's fine. Like I could punch a few circles because I've got my circle punch and I don't want to get up and get any other punch. I could do like a few circles with that fun sparkle. And that might just add a little interest. This needs to be the last thing I use this for today. Holy cannoli. Then I need to cover this ink. It's staring at me going, why are you letting me dry out? Okay. Then this one, we'll just do like half of it. So it's kind of hanging off the edge. Oh, and that went really fast for some reason. There. Okay. Then make sure this is all glued down, and it is. We'll come over here and we'll just trim this little excess bit of this circle off. Yay. Okay, that's super cute. It's got an almost Victorian feel to it now. I like that. Okay. So now we just have this beautiful, beautiful fox that I want to use. So what I'm thinking I want to do with it is maybe make a journal card that is a little bit textured, but not super textured. And I want to make it long. I'm thinking about this fabric again, going like, would I want to lay the fabric on here and put the fox on top? I don't think so. It will take forever and a day. But you know what I do want to do maybe is, do I have, oh, that's some eco-printed fabric. I'm looking for birch bark, but I don't think I have any in my scrap bin here. So I have a little bit, not a lot. Oh wait, maybe I do. What's this? Oh no, that's handmade paper. Maybe we could just take all these elements that I have, okay? So let's take the paper first. We'll glue that on. Just truly using scraps today, like more so than usual even. Okay, we'll put that here. And then I'll just kind of tear away what didn't get glued. I can hear my son asking for something. Sorry if you can hear noise in the background. My kids are upstairs and it's morning, so they're a little wild in the morning. A little bit. So I haven't gotten them outside to kind of wear out any of that energy yet. Okay, there's the fabric. Now the birch bark. I want to use the nice colorful side of the birch bark. Okay. Plunk that on here. Now we will fussy cut our fox. Kind of, sorta. I'm going to leave a little of this ground that he's standing on because I like that. It's quite nice. And we'll see. Yeah, that will fit on there. So let's get rid of that. I'm going to glue these two pieces together. So then what I plan to do is back this, and I'm also going to do a bit of freeform stitching on it as well. But first I want to add a little bit of ink to just kind of make this white background here grungy and blend it into the background, because we didn't super close like fussy cut it. So we want the whole thing to be a little grungier. Just kind of bring that whole color together and cut the excess off. Okay, so then I'll set that aside and I will finish it on the sewing machine after it's backed. Okay, I want to do one more thing. So first of all, I want to take about 1, 2, 3 pages of this paper. And I want to cut out this lovely passenger pigeon, which is the last thing I want to use on this page here. Okay. Then, set this over here, and we'll glue it. And I want to make a cluster with the book pages, like, as you've probably seen me do a billion times here. So I'm going to just glue that down on here. Then first I want to just ink a little dramatically as always. All right. So I'm going to create like an oblong type cluster with that. So let me go do stitching and then I'll come back to you and we will have kind of the final reveal. All right, stitched around and finished. So here's our cluster with the passenger pigeon. That'll just be like glued down or used in some other collage. I really love it though. Here is the first of the 2 journal cards that we collaged and did some fun fabric and stuff with. I backed it with some vintage ledger and left a bit of an edge on it and left these threads long. This is that piece of stationery that I made. So I just stitched around it and decided to fold it in half so it could be like a little bit of writing space on inside and out. there's that pocket that we got started with that we did some stitching on. So it's a pocket here, and it has this fun on the front. I actually think a lot of this ephemera will be good in my pink autumnal journal. Some of it not so much, but a lot of it, yes. And there's that little baggie that we made, and added that bit of Release the Craftin' on the front. And then this sort of multiple pockets. We've got 2 pockets, one here and one over here. Then we've got little tuck spots down here and down here. All I did was stitch around the bottom edge of it to just kind of give it a little more of a texture. And then our goosey card here, just a simple little fun tucking card. And then that pocket for Release the Craftin'. And there's our fox journal card that I did a bit of stitching and fun, and then I backed it after I did all the stitching. So there we go. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we made 9 pieces of ephemera today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, because that's fun, and I like to do different fun things here, and it's nice to have a little community of people who hang out with me. This is one of my longer videos. Like, I don't normally do a massively long video, so if you prefer shorter, videos, this is my weekly video that it's a little bit longer, so that we use up 10 things from my stash, because that is super duper necessary. So yeah. All right. Have a great day, and we'll talk again very soon. Bye for now.